Okay guys, today we're going to go over how to reclaim clay. First you're going to get the reclaim bucket, pull it up to the boards. So right here we have two white boards on each side of the room, here and on the other side over there. These are HardieBacker board. It's what construction crews use to put in showers. It absorbs moisture, so it helps us when we go to absorb the moisture from the clay. So if we put dry clay in this bucket, we add water to it, it breaks it back down into the consistency that we need to work with. If the bucket has a lot of water in it, then you need to take it outside and you can either tip it over and dump it in the grass, the water, not the clay, or you can take a bucket and kind of just scoop the water off. Right now, we could put a little bit more water in it because we've got some pretty, getting some pretty dry clay, but I'm going to try to work around that and get some of the clay that is broken down, that is a good consistency for reclaiming. And I'm going to put it on our board. This is probably the messiest thing you'll do in ceramics. Some people actually love it and others actually would rather cut off the block. So I'm going to set the clay out, close the bucket, get however much I'm going to use to reclaim, and then put the reclaim bucket back where it goes. Now for this, you can see I have the clay on the board. Okay, I'm gonna spread it out, not completely thin, but I don't want just a big old chunk on the masonite board or the HardieBacker board, because it will get, it will take a long time for it to dry. If you're doing this in class, you could have something else to work on at the same time. You can always reclaim at the same time as you're doing something else. Now, this is all I do right now. Okay, I have my spatula ready. Okay, these are our spatulas. Okay, I'll use this in a minute. You find them in the drawer across the room labeled spatulas. So I'm gonna leave this here. I'll come back to you guys in about 10 minutes. We'll check it and we'll see how it's doing. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. I'm going to check this clay now and see how I can pick this up, and it comes off as one. Then I can flip it. Okay, it's pretty good on this side, so all I'm doing is scooping as much as I can up and flipping it over like a pancake. A little bit messier than a pancake, but you get the idea. Okay, flipping this all over, and I'm going to come back in about 10 minutes, maybe check it in 5, but I'm going to come back and check this after I've flipped it once. And depending on the weather, it could take 15 minutes for the first side to dry, but just don't let it get too dry. Here I can still press it and it still feels like a good consistency. Okay, and it's not coming off completely on my spatula, so it wasn't too wet. So we're gonna let it sit. We'll come back to it in another 10 minutes. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. I'm gonna flip this over and it's holding its consistency. Okay, it's still got a little bit of wetness in it, still got a little bit of moisture, so I might flip it again one more time and let it sit. But what I'm gonna try before that, you can tell it's a little bit moist because it's getting on my spatula, but what I'm gonna try, and it's staying on my hands, is to knead it a little bit. Okay, so now when I knead it, it's sticking to the table. So I know I still have some time for this to dry. So what I'm going to do is spread it back out. Okay, and let it dry just a little bit more. Okay, the last step in reclaiming the clay, we've let it dry. Now, if you can tell, I'm picking it up and it is not sticking to the table anymore. So now that means it's time to knead. So when I knead, I am pushing out, pulling back. Okay, it is a little bit wet, but I can still knead it and get some of that moisture out. This process took a little over an hour for the whole process. Okay, so as I knead, this is that monkey face. So I'm pushing out, pulling back in. All I'm doing is exposing all surfaces of the clay. Okay, monkey face because he's got two eyes, little nose. Okay, I'm exposing all surfaces of the clay and getting the air bubbles out of the clay. So once I knead, I can cut it in half and I can check to see if there's any air bubbles. So we have solid clay, so we're good. So I can just put it back together and I can start cubing it. Okay, so I'll make it into a cube, and this is how I would store this piece of clay until I need to work with it. Sorry. This is how I would store this piece of clay until I need to work with it. I put it in my little plastic bin or in a plastic bag. Now to clean up, I'm gonna scrape the table with the spatula to get all my excess clay off of the table. Sweep it up with the broom. And then go clean the spatula at the sink.